The Double RT Boxing Show with Mr.A. Episode 11, Part 2 will begin shortly. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Daring to be great or just a cherry pick by Michel Conlan. Now, Magala, he's going to come in straight swinging. He's a come forward fighter, swings hard. I picked against him to lose his title, and he showed me wrong. I thought he was going to be outboxed. He slugged with the boxer, wore him down, and knocked him out. So Burchett does both. He's a pretty decent back foot fighter, good jab, but he can get inside and bang. He's going to have to, I believe, apply his back foot jab, or just keep a sturdy jab to keep Carlo Magala off him, because Magala is going to come straight at Miguel to bang to knock him out. Like I said, even though Carlo Magala is fighting on a less than a 30-day notice, he just came off a fight the 13th, so he should be somewhat decent shape still. Like I said, he's the Oriental Pacific Boxing Federation super featherweight champion. So this guy is not coming in there to be an opponent. This guy is used to winning. He has a championship mentality. He's coming out here. He's going to go into that fight not looking to be an upset, looking to be a winning champion again, and now be a solidified WBC champion. Excuse me. So that's real interesting. Like I said, and that is the February 10th. That's Frank Warren's February 10th card got canceled, but this February 10th card got changed, and now Miguel Burchett is fighting another champion. Now, you may be wondering what is happening to Miguel Roman. I guess there was a little money situation that happened in that. But he is now fighting on the same day, February 10th. He's fighting a Perez for the WBC interim silver super featherweight title. So basically, he gets that first lineup for the winner of this fight. I guess money wasn't situation right, so instead of just rushing into it, get this belt, and we'll try and work it out again afterwards. Now, a little more news I find a little interesting, because when I first seen it, I was a little baffled by the combination, the teaming, and that is Michel Conlan. He switched trainers. He was with Manny Robles, and that's what shocked me at first. When I first seen Michel Conlan make his big side states debut, I was surprised to see he was with Collins as a trainer. I don't know, me myself, I do believe Manny Robles he's pretty knowledgeable, but I know he coached some champions. I don't know. I'm not too I guess impressed by his stables of work. I think his fighters have another level that they're not hitting. And I'm glad to see, excuse me, guys and ladies, and whoever blessed me, thank you. If I was blessed, I'm as a boxing fan, I'm happy to see Colin go with Adam Booth. I think because I like how Burnett looks. I like how Kelly looks. I like how Hay look with him, and I think Booth style works. He gets, obviously his fighters believe in him. They adapt his style, and I think that if he goes with that herk and jerk Adam Booth style, I believe Michel Conlan will only get better. So I'm excited about that matchup. So. I mean that team up, I should say, matchup teamwork. combination. I like Michael Conlan with Adam Booth. Now that being the little spread about news in boxing, we are now going to go to the big announcement that Showtime did about their up and coming fights all the way up into June. Like I said, all the fights we kind of pretty much heard the rumblings were going to happen. You know, you got Charlo Centeno Jr., you got Rios and Garcia. Just they were officially announced as official. You know, no work, no paperwork, and no work. It's just they're done. There's a few fighters that was announced on stage by themselves, and they didn't quite have the opponent quite lined up. For instance, Gervonta Davis came on stage by himself. But they're looking at the 21st for Billy Dibb. You know, Billy Dibb is ranked number 3 by the IBF, and they actually, if you've been following the show, you know I always had the inkling that they actually been trying to set this fight up for a long time. You know, when Broner fought Garcia, Billy Dibb was on that undercard. They were trying to give Billy Dibb an American notice, so if Gervonta Davis would have won, he'd still have his belt. Billy Dibb would have won. It would have been a nice American notice. Oh, Billy Dibb, he has a nice record. Oh, that's what Davis going to fight. Fine, we accept that. But the thing is that Billy Dibb fight, it got a no contest against Cruz. It was a headbutt, so the plan kind of got shuffled right there. And then you go around with Davis losing his belt. The whole Davis versus Billy Dibb fell apart. You know, but they still stuck to that plan. They still trying to make that fight happen. And you see a lot of things. Like I said, I like the way they came out. They announced their names, did a quick little stare, a face off, and then they break away. You could tell they were like probably coached. Like, okay, you guys gonna get up there. There's gonna be like a 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever stare off, and then go. Now, who kind of delayed the whole stare down progress was Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. It actually got to the point where they were staring. They were doing the face off so long until the next commentator, he was starting to talk again. It's the guy from the Breakfast Club, so I forgot his voice. I think Kamagi. I want to say Kamagian or something. Like I said, I'm not a big, avid watcher of this Breakfast Club. I just know the dude with the list. I know he's a pretty important factor of that show. Kamagian the God or something like that. So I said Gervonta Davis came out by himself. Keith Thurman came out by himself, and he was asked when everyone wants to see him fight Spence. He's all, don't worry, it will happen, but this is just a get back year. But he's all, it'll happen. It'll happen. Don't worry about it. Which I do believe. I don't think Thurman's going to avoid in that fight at all. I think that fight will happen. And so one of the bigger fights I was also announced was Badou Jack. Badou Jack is taking on Adonis Stevenson. Now, what gets this intrigued was, okay, that's for May 19th. And then also on that card, I believe, is the interim championship bout to face the winner. So you got Vazdik taking on Amir. And then that's going to be to see who has the interim champion. So that the winner of Vazdik versus Amir takes on Jack Stevenson winner. And then whoever wins that fight between those 4 people, so the one left standing, they immediately got to fight Elder Alvarez. That's how his final step aside contract worked out. Like, fine, all these guys fight. They fight for the interim belt. They fight for the regular belt. Then they fight each other. I get first dibs at the ultimate last man standing. Whether it's Jack, Stevenson, Vazdik, Amir, they get no other fight until they fight me. So Alvarez will have his crack finally at a championship belt. Who will it be? I don't know, but I think Badu Jack. I think the whole combination. Like I said, I don't know much about Mindy Amir. I don't know. I have to research that guy, but just the other three components of that recipe make good fights. Jack versus Gvozdyk, a really good fight. Gvozdyk versus Stevenson, interesting fight. Can Gvozdyk do enough moving? Can the nail down Superman? So it's a really good fight. So I think, like I said, I don't know. I don't know who, because I was always. I know it may sound a little absurd, you know. Andre Ward was a great scientist in the ring. He knew how to adapt on the fly. He makes all the right adaptations. But I was never 100% positive that Andre Ward could beat Adonis Stevenson. Yeah, he just had to circle away from that left hand, neutralize him. But people felt to it like, yes, even Adonis Stevenson is a dominant left hand fighter, but he does have body work with his right hand. So it was just tough because I don't think Andre Ward could have just took away that left hand for 12 rounds. You know, could he have neutralized it? Yes, but how much so? And same with Jack, because I think Badu Jack is basically almost a reincarnation of Andre Ward. They fight very similar. Inside, they're good at what they do. They're not great. Andre Ward wasn't great. He was just good at everything, and he knew how to perform. And I think Badu Jack is good at everything. And if people think Andre Ward could beat Badu Jack, if Andre Ward could beat Adonis Stevenson, then you got to think Badu Jack could do it as well. So that is a big little merry-go-round with that Badu Jack and the May 19th fight. That's a good little merry-go-round. And then you're talking about, like I said, the main fights that got my attention on that announcement, the 3 fights, was Lara and Hurd. Definitely want to see that. Jack and Stevenson, and Broner and Figueroa. Those were the 3 fights that really is gonna pique my interest. You got Lara and Hurd. You got Hurd, who is the big dominant, walk you down, wear you out, and just with my weight take you out of there. You got Lara, who's the mover, the 1-2 American Dream Machine, and you wonder whose style is gonna crack. Hurd always catches up to in rounds and takes you out. Lara moves around, picks up rounds, and eventually he's too far ahead for someone to win. Like I said, can that style eventually work for Lara again, or will this catch up work for Hurd one more time, catch him up, let him get tired, and eventually his weight size and height advantage powers down on people? That Hurd always makes people move, fight on the move. That's not used to that. So all that energy, the adrenaline is making him get tired and tired and tired. Eventually he catches him down with his power. But will that style work against Erislandy Lara, who's naturally a mover? He fights on the move, so that style of moving around from her won't be new to him. It won't be draining his energy as much as it drained Austin Trout, as much as it drained Harrison, Jojo Dan. Those guys were forced to fight in a different style they weren't accustomed to, so that they didn't know how to last in that style. Lara is going to be accustomed to fighting like that, so the pressure won't be as much for her, maybe, because this guy is used to being on the move. So it's interesting to see which one gives, And then, like I said, so that's Badu Jack and Stevenson, Hurd and Lara, a unification. And then we got Broner Broner and Figueroa. And this is a very, very interesting fight. It seems like nowadays any fight Broner's in could be very well him close to being that much of a journeyman if he don't win. You know, like right now, if Robert the Ghost Guerrero was still fighting, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Adrian Broner fight Robert the Ghost Guerrero. You know, that's just the way they were using the Ghost. Like the Broner, like I said, after every fighter was announced, they gave a quick little speech of what they're looking for in 2018, what they're gonna do, and of course, being an Adrian Broner fashion, he's the only one who really over talk, tried to be entertaining on the mic. And he's trying to as he said, he needs to turn it up, get crazy, you know. And you know, he's like, I don't like these motherfuckers up here, and you know, it didn't even look believable. Like the Charlo brothers, Jamal. He said, I just want to prove I'm the best at 160. And then you got Jamel, I believe that's the 154 Jamel. You know, he seemed a little awkward on stage. You know, his little nice little bow tie suit. He just seemed a little uncomfortable in that environment. But, you know, he said his piece. You know, I just want to be the best and I want to prove it. You know, his stance a little awkward, but he came out there naturally. You believed, even though he was a little stage frightened, you believed his quick little 1-2 words about himself and his career. Then you get Adrian Broner up here just, I'm gonna turn it up. This is my shot. This guy, I'm gonna whoop his ass whenever we fight. It seemed the same old rehearsed speech, like we heard it before. It didn't even seem believable anymore. You know, when they did the face off, everyone else just faced off and looked at each other. Adrian Broner walked up, pointed to him, shaking his head like, "Nah, you ain't got it." And Figueroa just looked at him with a nice smile, you know, shook his hand like, "All right, dude." So I am real intrigued about this fight. Adrian Broner let his hands go finally. You know, this is because everyone's still, you know, as boxing fans, we still hold a little belief that Adrian Broner will show his talent that we once knew he had. You know, we believed he still has it, but last couple big fights, Porter, he didn't show it. I don't care if he hooked him in the last round and got him out. You know, and knocked him down. The whole fight, it was a flash knockdown. It wasn't nothing serious. So I can't take too much into that. You know, the whole round with Porter, he didn't let his hands go. He didn't let his hands go against Mikey Garcia. Granado's a questionable victory. You know, the last time he looked decent was against the Transformer. So it's a very, very intriguing fight. Can Broner let his hands go, and can he defeat the worldwide kryptonite that's known as punch volume? Everyone knows a come forward punch volume guy gives Broner immediately trouble. So this is the fight. You know, you got a guy who's, if not, well, as he said, if I'm not injured, if I can stay healthy, I'm going to be a great fighter, you know. That's the only thing that plagues Figueroa is injuries. It's real interesting to see how this fight plays out. You know, because if Broner could beat Figueroa, I believe he's going to get that Amir Khan fight next. So there's no way he's going to get a championship fight. He might. I don't think Porter would rematch him. If I was Team Porter, I would. It's an easy victory because they think they could beat him again. Good money. I don't know. Unless Mikey could get no fight, he'll give Broner a rematch. But like if there's really no big fights out there past Figueroa for Broner, because there's a Danny Garcia, but he's tied up. It's the only thing he's gonna fight a big name is gonna be Amir Khan that's available. But anything else is gonna be like number 3s to number 8s. It's gonna be a name somewhere in there. So real interesting. This fight against Figueroa really defines how Broner's next couple movement in his career goes. So that is episode 11, part 2. As a whole, this is episode 11, coming to a wrap up. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. You know, I had to split this one in two, but it's still the same great show. Hopefully you support it. You know, you give a thumbs up to episode 11, part 1. Give a thumbs up to part 2. Thank you for your support. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. I was ready. You was ready. Ready, talk that boxing. Right here on Double RT Boxing. Mr. A, signing out. Give that thumbs up. New viewers become new subscribers. Give that thumbs up, and thanks for the support.